How do you go from banking to selling meat pies and employing over 800 people? Well, on this week's episode, I have with me Barima Osei Mensah, the CEO and founder of Edin Crab Pastries. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm fine, thank you.
Awesome.
So you went from banking, Barima, to meat pies.
That's right.
Tell us the journey.
It just wasn't about pastries to start with.
Okay.
Initially, I wanted to start a class ring business. Class ring is basically what I'm wearing.
Okay.
And it's basically a graduation ring. So back in the US, it's a tradition.
Oh, okay.
So when you graduate, then it's not compulsory though. Then you can buy it.
Oh.
So I thought I can bring the tradition here.
Okay.
But unfortunately, after going rounds and trying to visit a lot of alumni groups, it didn't take off.
Okay.
So I wanted to start something different.
Okay.
So I wanted a plan B. So I thought of maybe what about a restaurant?
Okay.
As a matter of fact, before the restaurant, I wanted to go back into banking.
Okay.
Because something I know so well. So I thought maybe let me maybe look for a job.
Yeah.
So I looked for one or two banking job positions. And for a minute, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's better I start something on my own. Okay.
Why? Was the banking not enough for you? Were you not fulfilled?
Well, after MBA, you really want to do something.
Okay.
Like, you feel like for a minute you have control.
Yeah.
So why not just start something on my own?
Okay.
So that is why I kind of let go of the banking and start the restaurant business.
Okay.
So then, during the restaurant business, I realized that people were finding it a bit difficult to patronize because of how the place was set up. Okay. People find it a bit uncomfortable because you have even red carpet in front of the restaurant before you enter. So I thought that, I was just...
And where was this? Was this in Accra or was this in Kumasi?
It was in Kumasi.
Okay.
So then after about 6 months, I thought, my business wasn't doing so well. So I thought maybe let me introduce pastry. So it wasn't just pie. Okay. We had the, cakes, rock band, spring roll and other things. Okay. And even popcorn, ice cream and all of that. So because we're right in the middle of Kejitia. Yeah. We are right directly opposite Kejitia. So people traveling and stuff, can easily grab some on their way. Yeah. And so we introduced the pastries. And that is why we end up with the Edin Crab Pastries. Yeah.
But I'm still thinking to myself, okay, from somebody that's in the banking industry, you would have probably set up a loans company or financial something.
Right.
I mean, why a restaurant in the first place? Or
first, I can't afford, open a financial institution. So with the restaurant, I really enjoy cooking. So I thought, what, why not do something I know so well? I'm a very good cook. So
really?
Yeah. Yeah. So that is why I ended up there.
We should have got you in the kitchen.
I know. Next time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of your favorite foods?
Banku no stew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so you then started the pastries and it was selling, yeah? It was doing well at the restaurant. Oh?
Well, yeah. I mean, initially, I basically did my marketing magic, by going around, doing sampling, showing people what we have. Yeah. So I went to KGTI, all the businesses around, selling the pie on the baking sheet. Okay. So getting people to taste some for free and then sell at the same time. Okay. So then we realized people really liked it and people will critique it also. So by critiquing, I get a chance to better it, to make it even perfect.
Better, yeah.
And so that's how we started, the pastry business. We did a lot of marketing work, sampling, and when people really start showing interest, I thought, wow, this is a breakthrough. Let me expand. Yeah. So we decided to go mass production.
Wow. But how is it like really setting up a business in Ghana compared to, obviously you've lived abroad in the US?
It's a lot of challenge though, because the people you're going to put together, the team, is really the biggest challenge because you want things certain way and they don't get it. They don't understand where you want to be. And so that to me is the biggest challenge. But gradually, we are getting there. Okay. So then, I mean, do you offer them training? How do you get them to be on the same wavelength as yourself? Well, we do have like a lot of orientation. And of course on the job training as well. So the process of being on the job, I keep correcting them. The only challenge is that you tell them to do this and tomorrow they come back, they change it and try to do it their way. And just keep correcting, and it's like you keep repeating the same stuff. It makes it a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think it's important that actually people from the diaspora come back to set up businesses over here?
Well, to everyone is different. I mean, not everybody is born to be a leader. So you have to have some sort of leadership skills within you. Like if you believe that you can lead people, because that's probably the biggest challenge, leading people. And if you don't have that, I think, you know, you might find it difficult to break through. You know, but if you feel like you do have that, obviously it's probably one of the best ways to make a difference as well in your own country. So yeah, I'll urge people outside, you know, to come home, maybe try something that they have passion for. I'm sure by doing that they can, you know, probably excel. Yeah.
So you have no regrets?
Oh, absolutely not. Ghana is my home. And so being home is it's like doing nothing really. You know, I enjoy being here. I enjoy our people. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there are challenges, but there's still nothing like being in your country.
So what makes Edin Crab Pastry so, I mean, popular? What ingredient, what have you put in the pie that is making everybody yearn for this pastry?
Well, I would say, first and foremost, God is the magic. You know, we did pray before we actually started the whole business. So I give credit to God. But then, talking about consistency, we're very careful as to what we put in and making sure we continue to do the same. And then making sure we don't sell yesterday's pie. So our pie that we sell in the streets is fresh daily. Whatever is left out, we also give it to charity.
Oh, excellent.
So because you are paying for it, so we believe that we have to give you premium pie.
Wow.
We don't believe in yesterday's. So yeah, consistency, quality stuff. I don't cut corners. Making sure I handpicked everything that we used. Fresh everything. Fresh meat, fresh everything.
Wow.
Fresh
is there a
vegetables,
special ingredient in there?
Is there?
Is there a special ingredient
well,
in there?
Well, some of the ingredients I would say, you know, we use ginger, garlic, and onions, stuff like that. You know, because that's the old way, you know, old school. Today, people use too much of spices to do stuff, but we believe in using the natural stuff, you know, like I said, the ginger. Because when you use ginger in most things, it really comes out good.
So have you been able to open up different branches across the country?
Yeah, currently we have 2 branches in Accra and 1 in Kumasi. And obviously we do go to other regions, exception of currently we haven't been to Northern and Volta. But for the most part, we are almost everywhere.
You're almost everywhere.
So by means of transport. So,
you have a family?
Yeah.
How are you able to balance family life with business?
Well, for me, I'm not married. So it's a bit easy for me. I can make the decision. I can go to Kumasi whenever I want to. And I can equally come to Accra whenever I want to. So that challenge is not there. But when you say the family, it meant, you know, maybe parents and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as, you know, marriage, that is not there yet. So
it's not there. So you haven't got anybody, Barima?
Well, I will not say that. I will not say that. But I don't want anybody to beat me up after this interview.
So has your wealth come exclusively from selling meat pies?
Well, just to kind of let you know this, I do a bit of real estate. And obviously we do selling pie as well. I just tend to like quality stuff. I like good stuff. Some of the things you may think is a little too much, is pricey, but it's not. Just that I have taste, you know. But I don't overspend. I'm very careful with the little I have. You know, I'm not even there yet. I still trying to, you know, manage. You know, it's not easy.
Really?
So I'm very wise with money because even the little I have, I'm losing it because price keeps going up and I keep putting money back into the business. So right now, the more I sell, the more I lose. So we just hope that customers will understand. And bear with us and then appreciate, you know, what we have done for them over a period. Because we've been selling it at 2 Cedi for close to 4 years now. And you know how much price keeps going up. So I hope our customers will
definitely
understand us.
You spoke about you like quality things, and even when you were younger, you were selling. I think you've always been selling.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the...
Well, my parents, unfortunately both are not alive. But my dad was a true entrepreneur, my mom too. So they both enjoy selling. So I think I inherit that from them. I sell, making ice cream and making toffees and selling water. So a little bit of all that. Even when I was in school, I was doing photography work.
Yeah.
So I did a bit of that. So I enjoy that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because you're doing photography, and even the professional photographers will get the pictures in like a week, but you were the same day.
I'll quickly run to Edin and get it developed, and then I'll quickly, so even if it doesn't look good, the fact that I brought it to you the same day, you enjoy it and then pay me right away.
Wow.
So it was really working out.
Yeah. So you've always had the entrepreneurship spirit, as they'll say,
absolutely.
inside you.
Yeah.
So how many businesses do you think that you've tried along the way before you've gotten to where you are now?
Well, mainly the classroom business. There was this real estate business I wanted to do, but because of people not trying to make things work, they frustrate you along the way. And we were trying to do some land developing and sell the land at a premium, but we didn't get there. So I lost some money, some money along the way. But now, like I said, we're doing a little real estate on the side.
Okay.
Little real estate on the side, like small units, nothing big.
Okay. In Accra or?
Like all over.
All over.
What I do is I have friends who live abroad, so they communicate with me, and then they will send money, and then we do something on the side for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So apart from Barima selling meat pies, he's also into real estate. We're going to find out a little bit more about him in the second part of the show.
Imperial Homes Ghana in Great Britain has carved a niche for itself within the real estate industry as the premier provider of luxury homes in Ghana and England, with a mission to provide safe, good value, modern housing and personalized estate management services to its clients and customers. All our homes meet the Lifetime Home Standard, as well as the highest standards of engineering excellence, safety, environmental sustainability, and cost efficiency. Imperial Homes, a signature of luxury.
Gubert Card welcomes you to the land of gold, Ghana. The Gubert Card is a unique loyalty card which gives you the opportunity to enjoy discounts of up to 40% on goods and services. You enjoy discounts of the best of hotels, amazing restaurants, beauty lounges, spas, health centers, fashion houses, and shopping centers in Ghana. The Gubert Card can also be used as a prepaid Visa card with Access Bank, our partners, offering you conveniences on all payment platforms. Applications is safe, secure, and valuable. Call us or WhatsApp us on 0245 156 705. Visit www.guberdiaspora.com. Gubert Card, the best discount card in Ghana. With over 1.2 billion people, Africa is a large continent with a rapid economic growth, full of investment and business opportunities. It hosts numerous opportunities for entrepreneurs, businesses, and individuals. As Africa marches towards a better economic future, how do you become part of it? Who can you safely speak to? Where do you start? Think no further. Odana connects. We have identified the challenges people face in getting the right people and discovering the right opportunities in Africa. Odana Connects will be the platform where people and businesses seeking opportunities in Africa meet and connect like never before. Odana Connect. Join our waitlist for early access this summer at www.odanaconnect.com. Welcome back from that short commercial break. I don't know if I mentioned to you, but Barima is actually royalty. He is the nephew of our Ashanti king in Ghana. Am I correct?
Well, you're correct.
So you're royalty?
Yeah.
So am I supposed to address you in a certain way?
Barima is the title.
Is the title okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But how is it like being from the royal family?
It feels the same
to
me.
Because obviously you've...
Yeah. I mean, one, you have to be humble and you have to respect everyone.
Are you brought up a certain way or is...
Well, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, how you're supposed to mingle with people, how you're supposed to communicate with people, kind of respect you should give to people. Okay. It doesn't matter if the person is old or young, irrespective of even gender, you know. So yeah, you're groomed certain way.
In a certain way. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Back to the real estate. So, do you think that you got your capital from the meat pie to start your real estate job?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, we actually started real estate way before I even moved to Ghana.
Okay.
So I was doing back and forth.
Okay.
And
before you started the meat pie?
The meat pie.
Oh, okay.
Business, yeah.
Okay.
So it's something that I was actually working with some business partners back in America.
Okay.
But like I said, people didn't support. You know, people we needed to use or see before completely certain things.
Okay.
They didn't help.
Okay.
So eventually, and during the same time, in the US, the real estate market was crashing. So you just have to let go. Okay. And start something else.
Start something else. So do you think, okay, so is the other way around? So some of the investment from the real estate went into the Edin Crab?
I would say a bit of that.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't require too much money to start Edin Crab.
Okay.
It wasn't too much capital. Wasn't too much capital.
Okay. And then you have a favorite quote that you say often: "Winners never quit. Winners don't quit."
Well, I mean, obviously that's it's a known quote that you know.
One of your favorites, right?
Yeah. If you quit, then you can never make it. You're going to face challenges, but if you really manage to hang in, eventually you're going to pay off. Okay. You know, like another quote, my favorite quote by Kevin Hart. He said his definition of entrepreneurship is spending a few years of your life doing what most people want, in order to spend the rest of your life enjoying what most people can't. Because most people fail to sacrifice early stages. So it makes it impossible to enjoy it later.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. I mean, when I think about that. So you have to work hard. You have to go to the market if you have to. I mean, you have to sell meat pie if you have to, you know, do street walk, whatever you have to do
to make it work.
Considering it's legitimate.
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah. So has there been a moment where you wanted to quit?
Let's say about 2 times. Yeah. First, early stages of my business, I wanted to go back to the US and maybe work and gather some money. And then one of my aunties, she advised me not to, because, you know, it's difficult to leave your business in Ghana and hoping that when you come back, things will be normal. So she advised me not to, because it was tough. You know, I wasn't making money and I was used to living abroad, you know, having things my way. So, at that time, I really wanted to go back. And even now, the biggest challenge we are facing, like I mentioned earlier, because prices keep going up, sometimes I feel like, wow, do I really close the business? Because as we speak right now, every day I produce, I lose money. You know, so we are praying and hoping that our customers will understand us, that, you know what, it's not that we want to make more than enough, you know, it's just that the system doesn't support. It's very difficult right now. You know, prices keeps going up. Everything is so high. So whatever I make, like typical example would be, okay, I'll take 10,000 to the market. At the end of the day, total revenue collected is about 8,000. So now I have to add 2,000 to the total money, and then go to the market again. That is what I'm experiencing right now.
You mentioned about the system not being in place. What type of systems do you think the government should be putting in place for entrepreneurs like yourself?
Well, I would say supporting us in different ways. One, maybe a place of business. Because currently, in my case, the place I use for business is kind of small. I'm hoping that maybe I can acquire some government land somewhere, which is going to cost a fortune. You know, maybe subsidizing some things for us. Maybe allowing us maybe to go and get our own goods outside without paying tax on it or something like that. You know, it's difficult. It's really tough. I mean, I don't know how to put it, but I mean, I hope that I can get a break somewhere, some point,
If I was to take you back maybe 10, 20 years, would you have changed anything from the process? Would you have changed what you're doing now? What would you tell your younger self?
My younger self, maybe at the age of 21. Well, I wasn't in Ghana at 21 to begin with. I was still...
Would you have come to Ghana in 21 when you were 21? Or would you still be in the US?
Probably still in the US because it's good to learn something out there. You know, so when you come in, you understand the world from a different view.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that I have had the opportunity to be there, to know some basic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, here we take certain things for granted.
So what are the stuff that we're taking for granted here? What are some of the stuff that people are not seeing, they're not getting?
When you're in the US, things are different, and when you're here, it's different. And so the culture, you know, it's a completely different culture shock. I mean, for example, when you are in the US, you can easily get maybe fresh milk without worrying. Yeah, maybe sometimes you're looking for fresh milk can be a challenge. You know, stuff like that, mini stuff, you know. But what is important to somebody there may not be important to somebody here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a very different, very highly relative, depending on how you want to look at it.
Okay, but so what would you change? Your younger self, what would you?
Maybe probably I would have married early.
Okay.
I'm not married still.
Okay. So we have to look for a wife for you. We have to look for a wife for you.
Well, well, I'm still like currently I do talk to people.
Okay.
You know, I go on a date.
Okay.
You know, and it's important that we go on a date. Sometimes people get it a bit twisted. They don't understand why you have to go on a date.
Barima, I'm sure you would have 20 years ago or 10 years ago, you would have been in a relationship. Is it you that wasn't ready to get married, or were the women not coming?
Well, I'm always confused to begin with. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what I want. Okay. And sometimes I do know what I want. But sometimes what you want, you don't get. Wow. And what you don't want, you get plenty of that.
So then you have to just pick one. Well. And then, you know, as you grow, you just try and mold.
It's not that simple.
Okay.
It's a very tough area for me, and I do pray to God every day as to who I'm going to end up with.
Okay.
You know, like I said, when you go on a date, people even assume that this guy is going on a date with different people, and then they think that you're a womanizer.
Yeah.
But it's always encouraged to date people.
Okay.
And it helps you to understand women or people to begin with, so that you can make a good decision who you think is the right person.
Okay. So you think that in your time of dating, you've never seen that person that you thought, this one could be...
Well, like I said, this is a very tough area. I want to live it like this. And, like I said, I'm talking to people. Okay. And not plenty. Okay. Just that I'm talking to people. I'm trying to figure out,
which one?
Who's the right person.
Okay. And then you invite
But I mean, the good thing is I don't, take people to bed here and there. No. I do talk to people.
Okay.
That to me is more important than just rushing and regret later.
Yeah, because obviously what I found in Ghana, there's quite a high percentage of people getting married and then divorcing maybe 7 months or a year later.
And these same people will tell you, get married. But when they try it and then it doesn't work, then they stop talking.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they won't say it again. They're like, then take your time, there's no rush. I said, okay, now you have tried it, then you know how it is.
So you prefer living in Kumasi or Accra?
I love Kumasi.
Okay.
And I love Accra.
Okay.
I love both. Yeah, but if I have to choose one, I think I would choose Kumasi. That's my home.
Hometown.
Yeah, that's my home.
Okay. So you wouldn't live anywhere, if you had to live anywhere in the world, choose anywhere, you would still live in Ghana?
I think I would live in Ghana, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so your word of advice to entrepreneurs out there who want to venture into business, what would be your advice to them?
Well, one, don't worry about what people will say.
Okay.
Pick whatever you want to pick, considering you have passion for that. And if you have passion for whatever it is, then it feels like you never work a day in your life that's the same. So identify what you like to do. Do it with all your heart. Don't think of what people say, that people might call it odd or whatever you may call it. But you know what you're up to and you know what you want to do with that. Like in my case, it was pie.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't originally start with the pie. But for whatever reason, God knows what He wanted me to do. Yeah. So we ended up with a pie. And we did it well. We did it with passion. We did it from our heart. We treated our customers well. Without customers, there's no business. Yeah. So you have to listen to the customers if they are raising concerns. Yeah. So be humble about things. Don't think that you have education. Maybe you have an MBA. I'm an MBA holder, but it doesn't matter what it is. Considering at the end of the day, it can pay the bills. Yeah. Yeah. That's all it matters. Yeah. So be humble and ignore. humility. In Proverbs chapter 22, verse 4, it says, by humility and the fear of God, you will experience richness. That's what the Bible talks about. So don't listen to people about, oh, he's going to sell ice water on the street, he's going to sell bread or whatever you may consider. Do it with passion, and at the end of the day, God will show up.
Yeah.
And if He shows up, that's the end.
That's the end of it. And you mentioned, you have an MBA. Do you think that some people look down on he's got an MBA and he's selling pies? Like,
right.
Do you feel as if like some of your friends or people were laughing at you behind you?
Yeah.
Or even in front of you?
Yeah, I experienced a lot of that.
Okay.
Families, friends, and they were talking down. But then when this time is changing, and then they were like, hey, he's my cousin. Everybody wanted to associate with me at that point.
And how does it make you feel at that point? Like you didn't believe in me in the first place now, or do you just let it go and?
Yeah, that's human nature.
Yeah.
But you have to believe in God for a breakthrough, and you just have to let it go. And then if you even have to help them, you help them along the way, then they will really appreciate you even more.
It's true.
Yeah.
So don't hold any grudges.
Don't hold any grudges.
So where do you see Edin Crab in the next 5-10 years?
I believe that if all goes well, considering the new price, we plan on being in all the schools if possible.
Okay.
The universities and then tertiary, all schools possible.
Okay.
And then probably every Sundays we're going to position ourselves with the churches and stuff like that. So you're going to see more of us. Maybe the street vendors might reduce it a little bit and focus more on these other areas.
Okay.
And then maybe try to have like a Edin Crab cafe where you can come in and navigate your internet and stuff like that, Wi-Fi ready kind of stuff.
And why did you pick Edin Crab? The name
Edin Crab is it has history. It's basically victory. Back in the days, between the Ashantis and then there's a place in Bunahafa called German. So there was a fight, and then after at the end of the war, they decided that they're going to come up with the cloth. When the Ashanti won, then they decided to come up with a cloth called Edin Crab, which is a symbol of all the Edin Crab symbols.
Yeah. So that's why you picked because of the meaning, victory.
Victory.
Wow. I hope you've enjoyed the interview with Barima Osei Mensah, the CEO of Edin Crab Pastries. And I'm sure that you've been inspired. He says, be humble. Don't hold any grudges against anybody and be faithful to God. Pray and it will happen. I'll see you next week.
Imperial Homes Ghana and Great Britain has carved a niche for itself within the real estate industry as the premier provider of luxury homes in Ghana and England, with a mission to provide safe, good value, modern housing and personalized estate management services to its clients and customers. All our homes meet the Lifetime Home Standard, as well as the highest standards of engineering excellence, safety, environmental sustainability, and cost efficiency. Imperial Homes, a signature of luxury.